Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a no contact message from your person. I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. So the first message that we have here is, you are always the exception. Wow. Divine Feminine, I feel your energy coming through with this card here. So there's something very interesting happening with you on an energetic level, Divine Feminine, because I'm getting initiation very clearly. So you may be receiving signs of this in the most unexpected ways. This energy could also be a little heightened due to the eclipse season, but it's definitely having a major effect on your connection with your person. Because when this card usually comes out, it points to a masculine energy who feels this way about you, but I'm actually getting the opposite. So this is picking up on your underlying energy. So things that you may not have verbalized, but you're definitely feeling on the inside, is being highlighted at this time in your life. You may feel that the masculine that you're connected to is someone who was sent to you at a very significant time. Because literally since the moment you cross paths, you've changed mentally, emotionally, physically, but this is picking up on a spiritual change, okay? You've had a lot of new experiences as well. So on an energetic level, it literally feels like this masculine was sent to you as some kind of spiritual initiation. So although you may be very experienced in life and love, just overall as a soul, in many ways it may feel like this person is your first. And just being connected to them is doing something to you on an energetic level that you can't really put into words. But this is actually supposed to be happening, okay? This is a part of some type of contract. This is something very spiritual happening with you and with this person. It's almost as if this is what their energy was sent to represent in your life, okay? And because this is your experience with them, you treat them very different than you treat any other masculine energy that you've been with. From the way that you speak to them to the way that you navigate this connection, there's something about their energy that has changed you on a core level, Divine Feminine. And what's interesting is that all of this has been a totally intuitive experience. So there are things that you do or ways that you show up in this connection that just feel right to you. You may not even know why you're doing this, but the only way to justify it is that it feels aligned in some kind of way. It may also feel like this masculine's energy is leading you in a way that you've never been led before. So with this card here, you are always the exception. This is how you have internalized this person. So they're literally creating an entirely different measurement system. And the only way to justify this is by the way that they make you feel. I'm also getting cyclical. So this could be pointing to a connection that hasn't been consistent in a way that's really comfortable for you. But even in spite of that, they still stand firm in this position. So honestly, it's almost like they're getting some type of special treatment, and it's not something that you can really explain or justify. This is something that's happening naturally. You may even wonder if this masculine even knows that this is happening or that this is how you truly view them. But I'm getting that while they may be aware of how their energy affects you mentally and emotionally, they are totally oblivious to how this is affecting you spiritually, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is, I'm out of my element. There's a major flip side to this, and it may be hard for you to admit this, Divine Feminine, But lately, you've become extremely sensitive to this masculine and their energy, even more so than usual. You may notice that you literally feel them all the time, and you may even notice the slightest shift in their energetic field. And because you are aware that this is coming from them, it definitely has you on edge lately, okay? I'm also getting something here about external energy. So that may be another element that's throwing you off, or that may feel tricky when it comes to this connection with this masculine. You could be at a place right now where it feels really hard for you to open your connection up to opinions because you know that this is something different, or that it's nothing for you to really compare this masculine to. So when it comes to this initiation process, or what this means on a spiritual level, it feels like this is the very first connection that you have been in that's non-linear. Every other connection that you were in follow a very 3D timeline. But this masculine is the first connection that didn't. And it literally takes you out of your element. It changes everything for you. But what's really sticking out here is that it makes it very hard for you to measure what's happening as well, or whether your connection is progressing or even going in the right direction. And the fact that you are navigating a no contact period makes this aspect of your connection even more challenging for you. These are the moments where you may begin to second guess yourself or what it is that you're feeling. Or you may wonder and ruminate on your person or what they're up to behind the scenes. There could also be a lot of telepathic communication at this time, and also a lot of signs and syncs that you're receiving from your person to kind of give you more information on what's to come in your connection. But the energy is so weird that you can't help but wonder what's next, and if what you're feeling is an accurate reflection of what's really about to take place, okay, or what's happening in the near future. But what's clear is that this connection has definitely become something that's way bigger than what you initially thought. And when it comes to the spiritual aspect of that and how it relates to you on a soul level, you're really beginning to wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing. This is definitely a time in your connection where the emotions are running very, very high, okay? And it's happening in a way that you can really feel divine feminine. Your dream state may be very, very active. You may literally feel things happening in your emotional body, or you may be receiving thoughts by way of telepathic communication that are not even yours. And all of this is linked to your connection in some way, but it's also linked to something that you're undergoing spiritually. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is it's becoming obvious. Wow. Yeah, if you're resonating with this message so far, your connection will be undergoing a massive energetic shift over the next couple of weeks. It may literally feel like you're waking up in the fifth dimension while still trying to navigate the 3D world, okay? So all of the unanswered questions that you both have will be answered in a very unexpected way. So whatever it is that you're feeling at this time while at a distance from your person, they can feel it too. Your person is not at all surprised by the way that you feel right now, Divine Feminine, because I'm getting clearly that your feelings are in a very mutual place. So with this card, it's becoming obvious. It's clear that there's not only something very powerful taking place on the planet, but this is also affecting you and your person. And although you may not be able to identify it, you both can feel this internally. I feel like all of this is due to the effects of the eclipse season. So your relationships as you know it will be shifting, and no one is really exempt from this, but those navigating the twin flame journey will be feeling this energetic shift times 10. So this is a time where your connection may feel like it's literally being inverted in some way. And all of the things that have been hidden or undefined are becoming very obvious to the both of you, especially this masculine. And this is why you feel such heightened sensitivity at this time, Divine Feminine, because this is a time where things kind of slow down and it forces you to take a closer look at your expectations of one another. And I keep getting something about this initiation. So this is a connection that you both enter by taking a huge leap of faith. So you embarked on this journey without really knowing how it would affect you mentally, emotionally, but more importantly, spiritually. Maybe you had no idea how in tune your energies would be to the energies of the universe. So anytime there's a major shift with the planetary bodies, there's also a shift in your connection. This is a very pivotal point where it's becoming obvious that this connection is shifting to a different timeline, especially to this masculine energy. So they may be experiencing a lot of uprooting in their lives. They may have even pulled their energy back recently just due to the way that things have been unfolding on the planet. But what's really being highlighted here is that the both of you are in this really weird place where you don't really know what comes next. And just by the way that this energy is coming through, it feels like the both of you have transitioned from waiting for confirmation from one another to waiting for confirmation from the universe or from your higher power on how to move forward in your connection, okay? It's literally like you could be sitting on the edge of your seats, noticing things shifting, paying attention to the way that you feel, and just information that you're picking up just feels like a very high level type of energy entering your lives, okay? But it's happening in an inverted way. So instead of you looking to your external world, there's something happening inside of you, Divine Feminine, that's really calling your attention right now. And it's directly linked to your masculine, to this connection, but also to the universal shifts that we all are under as well, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is you broke all the rules. Wow. Your masculine's energy is coming through with this card here. I feel like this is the biggest thing that's being revealed to your person during this eclipse season. This is also picking up on how they used to view you versus how they are viewing you during this shift. They're realizing that this is a connection that set everything into motion for them. So in a sense, they broke all of their rules for you, Divine Feminine. And this is the one change that attributed to everything else in their lives changing. When your person first met you, they came into this connection with not only rules for themselves on how to treat you, how to engage you, what to offer you, what not to offer you, but they also had rules for you as well. And now they're sitting back and they're realizing that everything they said they wouldn't do, they've already done. And you may feel this way as well, Divine Feminine. And it's because once you have been initiated into this path, you open your lives up spiritually. So essentially, you create this direct link from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, or the 5D to the 3D. This will be the type of connection that is really hard to measure, okay? One that goes back and forth. You will have moments of deep healing and connection, followed by moments that may feel like you're moving backwards, but in all actuality, you're moving forward. And I feel like this reading is highlighting the shift in timelines from a higher perspective. You came into each other's lives to disrupt a pattern, and they can see that now. And they can also see how this is working for their benefit. So maybe the way in which they had things lined up kept them from seeing a truth in some way. But it's very clear that this is why God sent you, because you're the only person who can do this, just by being close to this masculine. The energies that you both emit are very, very powerful. And not only do they create their own timeline, but they also help to illuminate anything that's standing in the way of destiny or higher purpose in the 3D realm. You may be at a place on your journey where you feel that connecting with this person, or even accepting that you are on this path, that you are on this journey, is breaking the rules in some way, is making you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. But it's only because this connection is non-linear. The way that you would track the progress of it is vastly different from the way that you would measure something in the 3D. And I feel like this is really coming to the forefront during this eclipse season. And essentially, this is the one connection where breaking out of patterns, uprooting, Even experiencing heavy tower moments is actually for a higher purpose, okay? And I feel like a lot of what's happening in your reality right now could be bringing you closer to that revelation, okay? Let's get the next message here. Yeah. So the next message that we have is lovers and friends. I'm getting backstory with this card here. This is a very rare connection that I'm tapping into, because anytime this card comes out, it indicates that this is someone that you have history with. So you may have entered into this connection with little to no expectations, really enjoying their vibe, going with the flow. But if this masculine could be honest with you, they have a very hard time expressing what they feel for you. And they feel this way because there are two very different aspects of this connection that they've seen play out over time. There's a side of you that they view as their friend, the person that they can be very raw, very real, very open and honest with. And then there's a side of you that's their lover. And this is the side of you that makes them a little apprehensive in their movements, okay? And this is what worries them. With everything that's happening at this time, they can't help but to feel like there's not only been a separation physically, but also emotionally. And it makes it very hard for them to say things that they would easily say to you in the past. It's almost as if the energy of your connection is constantly changing from something that's always been very lax to something that has them feeling a little pressured. This is tapping into that non-linear aspect as well. I'm also getting chemistry very clearly here. So this is a connection that has a very organic flow to it. It almost feels like the lines get blurred very quickly when it comes to you, Divine Feminine. And your person can't really explain their movements as well because they have no idea how things are going to play out. But this is someone who still has very deep feelings for you, no matter where you may be on your journey. And they thought about establishing a future with you way more than they may bring up or even verbalize, because there's something about you knowing the real them that really sets you apart. And you may feel this way about them as well. I feel like this is picking up on how your energies mesh. So this lovers and friends energy could be an aspect of your connection that will be enhanced in some way as the energy of this eclipse season phases out over the next couple of weeks. This energy is really giving me the energy of the temperance. It's almost like there's this blending effect, or two aspects of the soul or two aspects of your connection that's being blended behind the scenes, or something that's happening in the spiritual realm that you're going to see manifest physically as this eclipse season kind of uproots everything, brings everything to the forefront, and then the energy settles, okay? Let's get the next message here. Wow. The last message that we have here is, what do you want from me? I feel like this is where your masculine's mind is right now. This could be the one question that keeps ringing over and over. This could also be tapping into your internal process and what it is that you're picking up right now from your masculine. Because I just keep getting the image of this big question mark where the both of you may not know how your connection is going to progress, what's really happening at this time, or what's even expected from you in this connection at this stage of your journey. But despite everything that's been happening, your person is really considering breaking no contact with you, okay? Maybe this is a person that you haven't spoken to in a while, but they've been on your heart lately in a very, very powerful way, in a way that really feels different from any other no contact period. Because I keep picking up on this energy of just rumination. And you may wonder where these thoughts are coming from, Divine Feminine. It's coming from your masculine. They may not be totally confident in where they stand with you. So they feel like they may have to have a plan when approaching you. And this is pointing to the linear aspect of your connection and how this ties to the role that you play in their lives. It's almost like they're trying to figure out how to ground this energy that you both have been picking up on. But if they were to be completely honest, they don't know what you really want, Divine Feminine. And they're at this place where they really want to hear you say it. So this is where this question comes through. There has definitely been a major timeline shift while you both have been apart, because now your connection doesn't feel the same anymore. What once felt very effortless or very easy has now become very calculated. So while this masculine has been kind of soothing themselves with the thought of you being their friend at the core of this, now they're considering that when this energetic shift settles, you may not show up as the person that they fell in love with. And the fact that they're actually overthinking their approach towards you is evidence of this. So if you're wondering what's on their mind or what's their next move towards you, they're waiting, but they don't really know what they're waiting for. You both may be in this place where you're really unsure of how the other is feeling at this time and who is going to break the ice and when. Your connection may feel like it's in a very, very complicated place, because even the energy of this reading is coming through a little scattered, so I hope it's coming through clearly. But as the energy continues to clear over the eclipse season, you both will definitely have new information about yourselves. And this information will ultimately help you decide what the next logical step is in your connection. And I also feel like your person is trying to figure out whether to rush in towards you or to really take their time with this. Something about this energy is causing them to slow down a bit and to consider what the best decision would be, not only for them, but for you as well. This is why they want to know what it is that you want at this stage of your connection, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on the way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.